What's going on, investors? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Bionano genomics. But before we continue, please smash the like button. So I want to share with you guys a lot of updates in this video. We have a couple of breaking news that I believe you guys have missed, talking about price targets, analyst risk rating, and so on and so forth. And of course, we have a lot of things that have been happening since last week. We saw what happened with Silicon Valley Bank and what is presently happening with Credit Suisse, and we are going to talk about how those news is also affecting the market right now. Is it the right time to keep, if you haven't yet buy Bionano genomics, it's now the best time to buy BNGO, or it's now, if you have been holding for I don't know how many months or years, it's now the best time to sell, or should we just keep holding on to our shares of Bionano genomics? Those are the things that I am going to be discussing in this video. BNGO has literally been going down for a month now. Okay, it has just been going down, and since last month, okay, since the 2nd of February, what we have been seeing more or less is literally low after low, low after low. Okay, and today the price is trading at the bottom, at the last let me say the last support. Okay, because it used to be 1.16 US dollars back in May 2022, as you guys can see right here. Okay, since then Bionano genomics has literally been staying up on top of that price. But right now I think it's from 2-3 weeks ago we broke below 1.36 US dollars, and since then the price has been approaching 1 US dollars, and as you guys can see, the price has literally been it's been closing, like setting low after lower low, lower low, lower low since then. So should we keep buying Bionano genomics, or should we just hold on to what we already own? Because some of us are down massively, and it's at this point it literally makes no sense to sell. If you are down like minus 90%, minus 80%, why would you sell at such level? You could just put it aside and maybe come back in the next couple of years maybe. Okay, so according to experts, they used to say, like, you buy low, you sell high. But the question in terms of Bionano genomics is, are we still going to see lower than this price? Okay, should we keep buy? Is this the low that according to experts that you need to buy at, or are we still going to see lower than this level? If you take a look at the price action, you can see that BNGO was supposed to bounce on the 10th of this month. That was when we saw a massive bounce on the 13th of this month, and the price was supposed to capitalize on this bounce. The volume came in at look at that, at 9.8 million, and on the 10th of this month we saw a massive volume of almost 13 million shares exchanging, and since then the volume has literally been dying and dying and dying, and then since then we haven't even seen 8 million volume since then. After this candle, I was expecting BNU to bounce after touching the support, setting a something like a double bottom, but we didn't see that bounce, and since then we have been setting lower low, lower low, and today we are even trading at 1.1 US dollar. So I mean 1.10 US dollars. Let's see what's gonna happen today, where the market is going to close. We have Fed meeting coming up on Wednesday. If the market stays volatile, the price could go lower than this. But if somehow the information leak, because the argument right now is Fed going to hike the interest rate by 25 basis points, 50 basis points, or because of what is going on with banks, are they just going to hold on and stop hiking the interest rate? That is the question right now, and that's why Wednesday is a super important day for the stock market. If they stop hiking, then we know that we have seen the bottom of most of all the stocks. If not, there is a possibility if they hike like 25 basis points or 50 even, okay, there is a possibility the price could keep going lower. That is in terms of, you know, if you want to talk about the macro news. But if you want to talk about Bionano Genomics itself, you know, we saw that at the market offering 250 million, you know, that is how much they want to raise at the market, and nobody knows when that is going to be over. I think that is also affecting the price somehow. So we are waiting for the management. First of all, they need to announce when they want to stop this at the market offering, or we have to see some kind of massive sales of the Sapphire device. Some investors are also waiting for that. Okay, we want to know, you know, what is going on with the Sapphire 2.0, the next generation Sapphire device, how many they can potentially sell this year, because, you know, they have already released, it's already been tested, you know, on the field, but we don't know more information about how many sales they have made. For example, we need, you know, sales. That is what I think investors want to hear right now. So this is that about the price action. Now if I take a look at the 1 hour, let's take a look at the 1 hour and see what is going on. You guys can see there is literally no volume. Okay, that massive volume came in right here on the 10th of this month, and since then the volume has, you know, been, you know, smaller and smaller, and sometimes even for 1 hour the price literally just stays at one position. Look at that, how many times we have touched 1.09, literally 1.10 US dollars. You can see, you know, the price literally, you know, couldn't even go lower. So if we see any big, you know, investor dumping Bngo, then the price is going to break this 1.10 US dollars, and then, you know, we can approach closer to 1 US dollars. And I think a lot of investors are waiting below 1 US dollars, you know, to buy big. Okay, how low the price could go, nobody knows. I shared a lot of information with my Patreons. It costs about I think now it's 6.99 US dollars per month. You know, I have been advertising my Patreon. I've been telling you guys, you know, all the way from 1 US dollars to 3 US dollars to 5 US dollars. Now it is 6.99 US dollars. I've been sharing a lot of information with my Patreons, and I myself have been showing my portfolio and see how those information are making me money. So if you want to take advantage of that and learn more about Bionano Genomics, even though if I don't post video, I still make, you know, I share posts with my patrons, and they get to see what's going on in the market and how to play the market. So you can always go there and find more information. And of course, I share a lot of you know, 2 minute videos on my Patreon page also about the stock market and Bionano Genomics, for example. So Bngo is down minus 2.2% today. Now, so this is the situation of, you know, consensus, analyst consensus, and price target of Bionano Genomics. Now I have a breaking news to share with you guys. Okay, this is the first one. Scotiabank Song Jin Nam used to work at BTIG. Okay, and in January we saw a new rating from Scotiabank. I made a video about that, and it turns out it was Song Jin Nam. Okay, this lady now works at Scotiabank, and she's keeping her rating of Bionano Genomics, and she said a price target of 3 US dollars. Of course, it used to be higher than that, but it used to be, I think it used to be 6 US dollars. She dropped it, you know, to 3 US dollars, literally telling that, you know, Bionano Genomics is not, you know, performing very well, so she's bringing her price down. If BNG, for example, goes below 1 US dollars, you are going to see Song Jin Nam bringing that price target a little bit down again, maybe to 2 US dollars. Okay, that's just an head up. And Jason McCarthy came in once again last week. Okay, I shared this with my patrons last week. He came in again, and he reiterated, you know, a buy on BNGO, and he maintains its his price target of 6 US dollars. So I think the person we are waiting for right now is this Frunkla, Oppenheimer. Okay, we have Oppenheimer, we have BTIG, Maxim Group, we have Scotiabank. We need to hear from, okay, Landenberg, Talma and Co. Okay, it's been a while since I see, you know, their price, you know, target on Bionano Genomics publicly. Okay, most of the time they are doing it privately and we don't get to see it. Okay, but for now we have this 4 analysts. Okay, since last month they came in maintaining the buy rating and then setting different kind of price targets. So Oppenheimer has the highest target of $9. I don't even know how we're going to get to $9 if the price is, at 1.08 right now. That is a massive gain. Okay, close at 1,000%. Now the consensus is $5.25. okay, according to these 4 analysts. And then we have an potential upside of 372.97%, like always. But I think my rating of Bionano Genomics, okay, is the best right now. I mean, I have literally made over 600 and over 700 videos about Bionano Genomics. Even though if I'm not professional analyst, just making this content for educational purpose, always do your own due diligence. Those to me, bro. I still think my knowledge of BNGO at this point, for me, okay, for my own purpose, is the best right now. So this is the Bionano Genomics PT lowered to $3 at Scotiabank analyst Sonji Nam lowered the price target on Bionano Genomics to $3. Okay, so it's from $4, not $6. All the way from $4, she dropped it to $3 while maintaining a sector outperforming rating. So yeah. So we have an article about Bionano Genomics that came in last week. The title says Bionano is gaining momentum and could soon be approaching escape velocity. I don't know what this writer meant by escape velocity, but let's take a look at what this person, Alex Chachidi, that is the title of that is the name of the author, and the title that was subtitled, the title of this article says buy this magnificent growth stock before it is too late. Okay, buy this magnificent growth stock before it is too late, before they buy everything. So if you go further down, his argument is about the buy theory of Bionano Genomics, the bullish theory. Multiple tailwinds are set to boost growth. Okay, according to him, he spoke about the revenue rising 30% year over year to $8.2 million in Q4, and of course, the company is not yet profitable, but he says Bionano has a few powerful forces in its corner that should carry the company to growth, starting with the fact that the Sapphire can simplify genome mapping workflows and provide researchers and clinicians with data that they would probably not have access to otherwise. Now, he said another tailwind is the company's base of recurring revenue. Okay, he spoke about that. Then he went ahead and says each biopharma laboratory with one of Bionano systems spent around $73,000 on consumables in 2022, and consumables in total after Q4 earnings is now 15,375. okay, totally sold by Bionano Genomics. And he went ahead and said as people use the Sapphire more and more, they will need to buy more consumables to replace the ones they use, and in due time they might need to make regular purchases of more than one type of consumables. So now if you go further down, he said competition remains a risk. He mentioned Illumina, and he said he expects Illumina to start to try to encroach on Bionano stuff, especially if the company continues to gain traction in its market. So in a nutshell, what he's trying to say about Illumina is if Bionano Genomics breaks that niche, if they become the standard of care, okay, he's trying to say that Illumina is going to try to come up with something that is going to maybe not map genomes, but Illumina is into sequencing. Maybe they are going to come up with a long read device. Okay, but I think that is still going to take some years, because we still have the likes of Pacific Bioscience of California, we have Oxford Nanopore, 10S Genomics. They are still there, trying to do what Bionano Genomics is doing. Illumina is still more or less into short-read sequencing. But I read an article about Illumina last week that more or less suggest that Illumina is coming into long read sequencing. So let's see how that is going to unfold. Now then he continues, then there is the risk of bear market continuing to drive down Bionano's stock price, which of course is what we are experiencing right now. Okay, any company that is not yet profitable is getting hammered massively. Now he went ahead, he said, and of course, even if the bear market ends tomorrow, Bionano still needs to prove that its business model will be profitable and that it can establish itself as a powerhouse in gene sequencing. But with 130.2 million US dollars in cash, Bionano should be able to keep the lights on and fund further penetration of its market. So I mean, if this company spends, over 30 million US dollars every quarter, and we have 113.2 million US dollars, that is about, 3.5 quarters, you guys should expect Bngo to keep diluting shares, okay, raising some fund every quarter for at least for the next 4 quarters. So if they are raising like maybe 15 million US dollars per quarter, it's going to help them to have enough money to run their business till next year, okay? And luckily, if something happens in between, okay, if the share price rallies in between, then they can dilute shares further and raise maybe 200 million, 300 million. I think that's how Bionano Genomics is going to keep doing until they become, they break even or become a profitable company. Bionano Genomics, on the 15th of March, about 1.5 weeks ago, or no, 5 days ago, Bionano Laboratories expands its clinical testing menu with launch of optical genome mapping based laboratory developed test LDTs for prenatal and postnatal analysis. And so this is Bionano Genomics, trying to bring everything in-house. Okay, they are trying to more or less, vertically integrate, their business. If you are able to, do everything by yourself, you can cut cost and so on and so forth. So I think that's literally what they are doing right here. Of course, they are not building their devices by themselves. They don't have such ability, but this more or less like on the software side and on the service side. So now Bionano Genomics announced the expansion of its clinical testing menu with the launch of 2 new laboratory developed tests, which is of course very good news, okay? But we have to wait for the earnings of the first quarter of this year to see how this is affecting Bionano Genomics positively and how much they have been able to make from this breaking news. For example, I think we have to wait for the full quarter, like second quarter of this year, and see how that is as affecting the business positively, how much they have managed to bring in, how many customers, and so on and so forth. So let's wait and see. But this is a wonderful news. Now OGMDX postnatal whole genome SV test peripheral blood samples from individuals who have diagnosis including but not limited to autism spectrum disorder ASD, intellectual disability, developmental delay, epilepsy, and rare undiagnosed genetic disease. And then the second one, OGMDX postnatal, I think this is diagnosed, okay. Postnatal whole genome SV reports will include a whole genome analysis of SVs and will screen for the common CGG expansion in the FMR1 gene that may indicate Fragile X syndrome. So so this is what the I think this is the CEO laboratory developed postnatal yada yada Bionano laboratory. Okay, Justin, this one is from Justin Linton, the vice president of laboratory business at Bionano Genomics. Justin, so look at what Justin has to say about this. We are pleased, okay, we are pleased to see the launch of Bionano Laboratories LDTs for postnatal and prenatal analysis, which can assist patients in their diagnostic and prognostic journey. These LDTs are designed to provide a comprehensive evaluation of genome-wide SVs that we believe will assist clinicians in assessing the best potential medical management for their patients. So all right, so shout out to JP Harris. I don't know who this person is, but somehow I shared something about Sophia Genetics couple of weeks ago, and I just shared on the 7th of March, I shared Sophia Genetics SA as reported. That was when they reported their earnings. But Sophia unfortunately is down massively today, but since I shared Sophia, let's take a look at what has been going on with this company. Okay, because when I shared it, it was around 2.60 something US dollars. Okay, right now the share price of Sophia is down massively today. Maybe they raised some money, that's why the share price is down minus 23% today. But normally this stock has literally been going up and up. Okay, look at that, past 5 days until today. Today is Monday. They opened around this level 5.3 and then came down, but this share price has literally been going up and up since I shared it around 2.6 US dollars, somewhere around here. That was when I shared it. If you take a look at that, you can see on the 7th of March. Okay, so this is the 7th of March. They were trading around 2.6 and I shared that breakout, okay, on Twitter, and this is what has been happening since then. Literally the share price of the company is up massively year to date, over 100%, apart from today that it is down minus 23%. The reason is, if you take a look at what I shared on Twitter, I spoke about the revenue for full year 2022 was 47.6 million US dollars. 47. Even Bionano Genomics was not, it didn't make up to that. Okay, representing a year-over-year growth of 18%. And then if you go further down, revenue was 13.4 million for the fourth quarter. Bngo brought in 8.2 million for the fourth quarter. Those are some things that I highlighted. And back then, Sophia Genetic, the market cap was around 100 and something million US dollars. So you guys can see right now, even after coming down massively, the market cap is still lower than the market cap of Bionano Genomics. So 268 million US dollars, which means there is a possibility that this dip is for buying. Of course, I don't know why the share price is going down today. There is still no news. We just have to wait and see. Last week there was a breaking news that Sophia just flashed golden cross, and then on technical analysis side, and then we have Sophia Genetic and Agilent partner on comprehensive solution for cancer analysis. I still want to make a separate video about this company so I can share more with you guys. Okay, and then if you are interested, you can put your money into it. But that's more or less what this is about. This guy said when I shared it, he put in 5,000 on March 8th at 2.6, and today that was last week, and the share price closed at around 5 US dollars, and he's up and up 92% in less than a week. So he was able to make about 92%. So if you remove 22% that the share price is down today, okay, you still have like 50%, okay, literally like 50% profit in just a week. So that is like an example of the kind of work I'm doing. Now let's continue with Bionano Genomics. So Bionano Genomics, they made this tweet, okay, looking for a great job opportunity, stopped by Bngo. You guys can see that Bngo is still more or less employing, okay, they are still looking for new talents to join the company. And even though I think the chief financial officer has a great plan for the company, I think he's helping the company. He's doing his job, okay, to make sure the company stays in business. And as you guys can see, they have enough confidence. It seems like they still believe the lights are still going to be on at Bionano Genomics for at least I don't know how long. According to what they have, the cash that they have at hand, 113 million US dollars, and at the market offering, raising money, you can see that Bngo still has enough confidence that their business is going to keep running until they get to profitability. Now, if you come down, these comments are funny. You have Trinanian saying responsible financial management, no, burning cash on hires, burgers, and wokeism. It's really funny. We are operating at a loss. We can't afford to hire more. I think this CFO knows what he is doing. Okay, this guy also came in. Stop hiring. You are burning cash at a very irresponsible rate. Yada yada. But I think the management. Okay, Eric and this CFO knows what they are doing. They are going to keep running this business until profitability. Now, here is another tweet from Bionano Genomics. So much fun. We had a great time last night at the Bionano social event at Fat Jack's Burger Emporium. Thank you for stopping by. Post pics with your STEMinist t-shirt. If you missed a chance to talk to our team, visit our booth, yada yada. This was at the ACMG that happened last week, okay? And so I made a comment also. Everybody enjoying themselves at Bionano Genomics, and you know, everybody just comes in again with their it's now a normal thing to go to Bionano Genomics, you know, tweet and find all sorts of comments from retail investors that are not really, you know, happy with their investment, since, you know, the share price of the company has literally been, you know, going down for years now, over 2 years. Okay, some of us have been holding Bionano Genomics since 2021, and you know, look at that days. If you put days, you can see since 2021, 22, 23, Bngo has been going down. So I think that's why, you know, some investors, retail investors, are, you know, coming in and literally attacking each post. Look at this. Hopefully so much fun leads to some sales from the 50+ salespeople on salary. All the meanwhile shareholders are being decimated. You are welcome for your burgers, and yeah. Anyways, so now Bionano Genomics, this is another one from the ACMG, and according to Bngo, it was amazing. Okay, they saw a lot of turn-ups, and researchers, clinicians, scientists were all interested in what Dr. Levi Stevenson was saying about the optical genome mapping system, the Sapphire device. And I quote, they said, "We had a packed theater with we had a packed theater with standing room only during today's OGM talk. Dr. Levy and Sahai Pal presented optical genome mapping, a new standard of performance in prenatal and postnatal genetic analysis." I think this study is what Bionano Genomics, you know, literally used to start the laboratory developed test. Okay, and you guys can see prenatal and postnatal genetic analysis right here. So now and of course, you know, we finally saw some, you know, good comments. Great, let's hope this helps get the share price back to where it should be worth. And well, it should be worth well over the current stock price after falling to 52 weeks low again. And we have Terry saying, "Wow, superb." And like always, PacBio always come into my, you know, comment section or on Twitter, whatever. Even though I am paid Twitter, you guys can see I still see some adverts from PacBio most of the time. So this came in the day all free Big Jack's burger. Oh, impressive turnout, great to see, and so on and so forth. So yeah, anyways, so now Bionano Genomics, there is nothing new from Bngo, so nothing much to talk about from Bionano Genomics. And I think we are going to end with this video. This video is from researchers at Radboud UMC, how they use optical genome mapping to identify rare genetic disorders. And this is like 2-minute video.
I first saw my first optical genome mapping, I was just astounded at not just the level of detail, the level of structural variants that were found, but the actual granularity.
The lab is very excited to use this technology and then identify something which is traditionally being missed by our standard of care or traditional methods.
Not only giving a better definition of the prognostic category that they're in, but potentially uncovering new therapeutic markers.
Specifically, we can, in a very easy way now, access regions of the genomes that were almost inaccessible with other means. That clearly already shows the power of OGM. In 2019, my former colleague contacted me and explained me what happened in this family. 2 daughters suffered from an extremely rare disease called ATRT, which stands for atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumors. Very distinct tumors of the nervous system, particularly of a certain brain area. The first child, under treatment, still lived for 2 years, however, then passed away due to the severity of that disease. And then in the second pregnancy, the second daughter was also diagnosed with the same condition, but her tumor already metastasized and was untreatable, so she passed away a few weeks after birth. It was clear it must be a genetic disease, but we couldn't identify the mutation. So for the family, there was no other option than not conceiving children at that stage, not considering it until they would have an answer. So the pressure was on us to finally identify the disease-causing mutation and the mutation that predisposes to this childhood cancer.
Onze dochter Roos is hier in het Radboud geboren. En daar meteen door de scan gegaan. En op die scan werd een hersentumor zichtbaar. Een biopt heeft toen uitgewezen dat er sprake was van een ATRT-tumor. Middels bloedonderzoek gekeken naar die genetische factor. Heeft zij toen vastgesteld dat er in het bloed of in de bloedcellen geen afwijking te zien was. Toen onze tweede dochter met exact dezelfde tumor werd geboren, kwam ze opnieuw bij ons in beeld. Omdat eigenlijk toen iedereen wel de verwachting had van ja, dit kan geen toeval meer zijn, dit moet genetisch.
At that stage, there was strong evidence that there must be a predisposing germline mutation in the SMART-B1 gene. However, diagnostic assays such as Sanger sequencing, MLPA, CNV microarray, and ultimately also exome sequencing failed to identify the disease-causing mutation. Then my collaborators and colleagues from Utrecht also considered short-read genome sequencing, and again, they were unable to identify the disease-causing mutation. And that is exactly the stage where they contacted us. We just purchased the first OGM instrument and set up OGM as a technology here in-house. So we were able to perform OGM and immediately filtered for rare structure variant. We usually are left with just 30 to 50 rare variant genome-wides. But strikingly, one of those events happened to be in the so strongly suspected SMART-B1 locus. Obviously, there was a big relief that we finally identified the mutation. And then also a prenatal assay by my colleagues at Diagnostics was designed to soon after offer the family a prenatal test that can, with 100% certainty, show whether any subsequent pregnancy would carry the mutation or not.
Ja, dat was bijna onbeschrijfelijk. Omdat je bij alle voorgaande testen daar niets uitkwam. En ineens hebben ze iets.
Na jarenlange teleurstelling. Weer een sprankje hoop wat er ineens is. Je wil heel graag begrijpen hoe dit heeft kunnen gebeuren. Om te kunnen snappen van wat is er nou misgegaan.
Onzekerheid is een verschrikkelijk iets. En dat werd weggenomen. Was voor ons echt heel prettig.
They learned that the mutation is not present. So the next baby would not have the same condition that the two sisters passed away from. A big relief. That was a big moment for that family, but certainly also for us. They were able to conceive another baby, and luckily that baby is a very healthy baby boy.
We weten gewoon dat hij gezond is en dat hij groeit en bloeit en ontwikkelt zich. En het is een prachtig kind.
En lijkt op zijn zussen.
Ja. Ja, onbeschrijfelijk. Wat een geluk. Hè? En dat ons dit nog gegeven is.
Nooit durven dromen dat het nog zou mogen gebeuren. Ja.
That was an amazing story, guys. I mean, you guys can see how Bionano Genomics is, literally saving lives. And I believe that is why most of us, fall in love with this company. That is why most of us, are invested in this company. That is one of the reasons why I created literally this channel and why I was, I've been talking about Bionano Genomics, only Bionano Genomics for years, okay? And that is the good side of BNGO. Hopefully they can put their, they can sell Mosafia device, become break even, become profitable, and continue to help families, to understand what might be wrong with, their children, or, families to understand what might be wrong, or, anybody that has genetic disease and so on and so forth. That is, of course, why some of us are, investing in this company. And, I mean, let's wait and see. Okay, my job is just to provide you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of Bionano Genomics. It now depends on you. Now your job is to take all this information that I provide and make your own decision about this company. See you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.